It is a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. We are recording this nightmare.
Oh, God, we're recording?
Yeah.
Oh, God, stop it.
Lock the doors and close the blinds. Turn on your TV. Turn off your mind.
I said stop it!
No.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
We're Solo Gamer.
Yeah, that.
We do stuff, and each week we tell you about stuff we do.
Yeah.
So this week I cleaned my car, but I only half cleaned it because I did one side and then it started hailing. So I stopped.
Fair.
So that's what I did. So that's the whole podcast. Thanks, guys, for listening. We appreciate you. Please leave rate review on YouTube and on Podbean and on
Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and
Pod
Spotify
Orgasm
and Pod Nods. That's another one.
Pod Knobs
And all the other sites that
all
have
the other
podcasts.
sexual innuendo sites of podcasts. Please leave a review.
Podshaft,
Podshafts, yep.
Yep.
Please.
Podstrokers.
The Podstrokers is the most important one. I want you to leave a review there for sure. If you only had to pick one, that is the one you do.
Pod Bean Flicker.
All right, for real now.
Okay. Well, I'm Steven.
I'm Scott, and we're going to tell you about a game this week. We hope you enjoyed last week's game. God, don't tell me. I know what it was.
It's an easy one. You should know this one. I know this one, actually.
Is it an easy one?
Yeah. We just talked about it.
I just literally listened to the recording of it. That's the stupid part. It was like 2 days ago. I just listened to it. Now I can't remember. What is it?
Little Misfortune.
Oh, that's right. See, because I was like, okay, how'd this turn out? It sounds like shit. That's good.
Yep.
Just joking. JK. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed Little Misfortune. We liked and hated that game. I guess not hated. I liked it. I just didn't enjoy it as much as another game.
We wanted more to it.
Yeah.
But we just loved everything about it. We loved the comedy in it. We loved the storytelling in it.
I just also like gameplay. I think if I had to choose between the two, I don't know if I've done different in the past, but playing more games now, I'm like, I think I'd rather have more exciting gameplay than better story, right? Because you want to be involved. You want to just be having fun.
I always say you have to have one of either of them.
Yeah.
And if you don't have either of them, it's just unplayable.
Yeah, you just fuck up your game. But if it's going to be one, I would pick gameplay and make the gameplay just extraordinary.
Because suffering through a horrible played game.
Yeah.
For the story is not fun.
Like being like, this part of the story is too cool. It's too bad it took me 17 attempts to get there.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. That stuff's not fun to me. Other people might like that better, but I'm just not like that.
And we're not talking difficulty either. We're talking straight up just like if the gameplay itself is just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, because, I'm a huge From Software fan, and those games are mechanically amazing games. They are extremely difficult, and there are times where I do something 85 times and not make it through.
Throw your controller against a wall, and you're like,
I've got close.
This game!
It's probably the game I get the most angry at still.
It's like you're playing Madden in 2006.
Seriously. Or Halo with all of our old friends.
Not even close to how mad I got at it. Not even close.
That's true.
All right, well, this week's game is
Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour.
Or just Nightmare, because this game is an absolute fucking nightmare.
Yes,
literal nightmare. Like, it's not, I don't know, we'll get into it, but man, this game was tough to get through.
It is.
But let's get started.
What's on the box?
This box is literal garbage.
Yeah.
Look how fucking cluttered it is.
It's so cluttered. Things are like
Oh my
overlapping on top of each other.
Yeah, and like, it doesn't
terrible.
need all this information, does it?
No.
Like, what? Jesus. Like, I would say the game supports the official rules of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. That's a great thing to put in there, because you're like, okay, so it's just not one of those weird Yu-Gi-Oh! Games where, like, Sacred Cards, where the rules are kind of more manga-based.
Yes.
So, and that's cool to know, but, like, it's really weird to put all this fucking information on the box. You want to start at the top and see if we can figure out what everything is?
The path to victory is in the cards!
De Wagner de overwinning zit in de Karten.
I don't know why we have a German.
Oh, maybe that's why it's so cluttered. I think that's why it's so cluttered.
Maybe because it's
got English and German on top of each other. I didn't even notice that at first.
Yeah. But even at that, though, it's still really...
Yeah, even with that, they did put a bunch... I wonder if some images were meant to be in there for the English one, and they put those ones in. I don't know. It's hard to tell. No, you're right. Because even with the German, these are still English. Okay, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's just a terribly designed box.
Yeah,
still.
bad box art,
But
guys.
yes, all new gameplay features, enhanced 3D graphics, bring your monsters to life, a brand new way of dueling.
Can I ask why you're not saying the German words?
Because I don't even want to try to attempt it. Because my wife minored in German, and she would definitely.
Oh,
laugh
okay.
at
So
me.
she doesn't know German, is what you're fucking saying.
No, actually,
all right.
she's pretty decent with German.
You know, I minored in women's studies. I know a lot about them.
They love to be groped, and
These are all true things. I can confirm I was in women's studies.
we are so sorry, and we do not mean that.
We're not cutting it. Okay, so yeah, like next to these little like the all new game play features, which I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that in the game at all. New game play features, like
I think it's just
like it sounds like
meanings
there's
like,
new things,
things that this Yu-Gi-Oh game did that other ones didn't. I think that's what they're trying to say.
There's nothing new about it. I've played a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh games. I don't remember anything.
I have
different.
played 2 Yu-Gi-Oh games now, so I have no idea.
Like it's pretty much the same thing. You run up to people, you duel, you find people, you
I
duel,
guess
and
the
that's
new
all you
thing
do.
is searching for your duel list.
But even still, like
because it's on the DS.
would you argue you had to do that in Sacred Cards? You just went up to them instead?
Well, yeah, but you because it's the touch features. Maybe that's the new features.
Maybe
because
you're
it's
right.
on the DS.
Yeah, but the pictures associated with them are kind of lame. One's Bakura in a Yami form, one's Cypher the Sky Dragon, one's a negate attack, and you're just like, okay, you didn't really have to show a negate attack in there. Yes, there are trap cards in the game. Thank you. Although the animation for Cypher is pretty cool. I would get rid of the Bakura one for sure.
Yeah.
The Cypher I would keep as the main picture, maybe.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, because the animations were kind of cool sometimes. Other times I was like, God, you can stop with the animations. It's taking so much more time.
Yeah, it was hit or miss with some of the animations, and some of them had like really cool like special entrance animations and stuff.
And most of them were bad.
Yeah, most of them were just like, I'm here.
Look at me, I'm Celtic Guardian.
It's kind of like old school fighting games where you're picking a character and they're just like bouncing. You're like,
well, they made one for Celtic Guardian, which is a card that you never use.
Yeah, I don't even know what the card is.
So it's one of Yugi's cards. It's just a normal attack monster, 1400 attack, something like most duelists would never even put in their deck. Maybe obnoxious Celtic Guardian because it has a special effect, but this is just a fucking normal card. Why the hell give it a fucking like cool summon feature? You're not going to use it in your fucking deck. Take the summon feature out.
And for you guys who don't remember or didn't hear our last Yu-Gi-Oh, I know nothing about this game very much at all.
And I played this game a lot.
I never watched the anime. I never read the manga. I never really played it too much. I wasn't allowed to play it when I was a kid, so the few times I did, I very rarely got to actually enjoy the game.
Let me preface, he wasn't allowed to play because he would find the female cards and jerk off to them, and then find the male cards and jerk off to those too.
Well, and then I was also trying to summon demons a lot, because that's just what I used to do.
So.
And I was trying to summon succubuses so they could jerk me off.
Yeah, so that's the problem. As you guys can see, that he had a problem.
I had a very giant problem.
I agree with his mother. Maybe don't let him play games where he's trying to just jerk off all the time.
Yeah.
Fair enough? Fair enough. Hey, you want to read those little text things?
Sure. Search for duelists by touching the map. They are ready to face your challenge. Summon powerful 3D monsters from over 1,000 cards, including some of the latest cards. Duel and trade cards wirelessly with your friends.
See, and that's probably one of the cooler features of this game. Maybe that's why it's so highly rated.
True.
Like, we played it on an emulator, which does support online play, but not very well.
Yeah.
Because you have to, do special link shit. You have to download an extra thing where you have to link shit and all that crap. And it's just not worth it if you're just playing with one person.
Yeah.
So, but that's maybe why it gets such a high rating, because this is one of the first ones that have, online competitive play.
And I mean, it's got a shit ton of cards for a card game, especially one that was on the DS.
Almost too many, I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of fucking cards. It was kind of hard to look at them and be like, what do I want to do?
Exactly.
And 90% of them were worthless. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. There's more pictures of cards on here, but I'm assuming those are all... I didn't know Silent Magician was a special card for just this game. Let's see. 3 limited edition official game cards inside. Oh, you get 3 cards for free. So Silent Magician's actually a cool card that I like a lot.
Yeah.
And that's a tournament card you get if you win the tournament eventually. And then, the box is just cluttered. There's a lot of information on it.
And,
and it's by 4Kids, which everyone loves 4Kids.
4Kids.
Does it say who made the game?
I don't even No.
I don't see anything.
Konami.
No, Konami is the publisher of the card game.
Um,
I'm very, very curious who made this fucking game. I'm guessing it's a studio we've never heard of, right?
maybe.
Sorry, guys, we're looking it up. We have to know. Click on the first box there.
Konami Digital Entertainment, developers and publishers.
Oh, wow. So Konami just is really fucking stupid. Guys, outsource your shit. You do a bad job.
At least with this old
I
game.
bet Sacred Cards was not Konami. I bet you anything.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, it's so different. All right, so let's jump into our next shit.
Are we jamming?
Wait, did you want me to take a shit and then jump into it? Is that what you meant?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not jamming. At no point did I sit here and listen to the music and say, I'm going to keep listening to this.
It wasn't bad.
No, it's not. It's just that normal.
For as long as you play this game,
Yeah.
it's just way too repetitive.
Yeah, it needs some variability. Maybe throw a theme song in there. Maybe the Yu-Gi-Oh theme song.
Have
Move!
have some songs with actual lyrics and stuff. Like,
But when you're at the end of the duel, the last 2,000, maybe go Yu-Gi-Oh!
there you go.
That would have been cool. That would have been a cool little, like, spice it up in a duel thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't really do a lot. There's no, like, voice actors. It's all
No.
fucking text-to-speech.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So the music's
And
okay. It's not
even
terrible.
a lot of that speech stuff. You have to duel people so many times in this game that
It's
you
so
hear,
repetitive.
and they say the same. They say like one of two lines every time you face them. So, and there's times you'll face the same same duelist 4 times in a row, and they'll say the same thing all 4 of those times. And you're like, I'm just tired of hearing this conversation or seeing this conversation. Like,
I would have loved if they filled this with the abridged lines instead.
that would have been
That would have been
hilarious.
so funny if you go up to Kaiba and he's like, what were some of his fun? That's like, you can't beat me. I have money.
Honestly,
Like, that would've
that's
been
what
fun.
some of these anime games should do.
Yeah.
They should make the game, and then the DLC should be the abridged series version of the game.
That would be fun. Where you change all the
the dialogue to the
yes.
abridged.
God, that would be so cool. Like having what's his name? Oh shoot, Mokuba saying like he in the anime he was possessed by someone.
Yeah.
Who is supposedly the soul of Seto Kaiba, but it's like an insane clown posse guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand it. I still don't get it to this day.
Okay.
But somehow this guy is like just a dude who can possess people.
Interesting.
And it happens no other time during the entire anime besides the fact that the big bad guys have special items that do magic things. This guy had nothing.
Okay.
Somehow he does this, and then he's like, you don't stand a ghost of a chance. Because he's Kaiba's ghost.
It's just so stupid.
And then he says it in the abridged series like 6 times. And it's like, we get it.
Like, I would play an entire Sword Art Online game with the abridged
Oh,
version
yeah, for
of
sure.
that.
That would be so funny. And where are we now? Don't make me say it. The Kirito is always right club. Like, that would be great. I would love
Or
that.
cart, for sure. Oh, goddamn, that's a horrible acronym. The Kirito is always right foundation. Donate now.
That would be so much fun. Yeah, throw some like ingenuity in these games. Throw some like outside your own thing. Because you don't want to go up to Mako Tsunami and be like, it's like the ocean is telling me to win, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, that's weird.
Okay,
but fine.
and then you get done with your battle, and then you look for another duelist, and then you fight him again. The ocean is wanting me to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you
it's
duel again.
like
the
it'd be
ocean.
great in the abridged. He goes like, "Me and the ocean are in a platonic relationship." like,
All right then.
See, that would be fun. Like you go, I'd duel him just for that. I want to hear that line.
This game. I guess should we just go ahead and get into the next segment?
Yeah, let's go. There's
really
not a
much.
lot with the sound guys.
How does it play?
So kind of boring. This game.
Very boring.
So this game is a radar game. It's not you walk around as a character, you explore, you see some cool like animations and shit. No, it's all like you're on a giant grid and you have a radar gun and you use that radar gun to find duelists.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only specifically hone into duelists with a special device. That's all you're supposed to hone into.
Yeah.
And yet somehow you can hone into people who aren't duelists.
Which is so stupid.
Which, no, one of them is funny because he's
Some
like,
of them are
I
funny.
think your thing is broken because I'm not a duelist. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fun. And it's like, hey, man, did you see the weird guy running around here? He's fucking weird. And you're like, okay, that's...
I think one of my favorite ones that wasn't a duelist was when you're going around with the rare hunters, I talked to this guy and he's like, man, this like rare hunter dude like came up to me, but I'm an amateur, so I don't have any like good cards or anything. So he just like didn't even want to duel me, and he didn't want to even try to take any of my cards, and that kind of made me feel really bad about myself.
I almost wish instead of cards had been like, you didn't want to take my soul? I kind of feel bad now.
My soul not worth taking?
Yeah, I guess not. That's like the argument. Why didn't the rapist take me? Like,
oh God,
that's what it is, isn't it?
Am I too ugly?
And like seriously,
why was I kidnapped?
So this game revolves around dueling, but a little bit too much, I think.
You have to do like 16 duels a day. It's like the only thing that progresses time.
Yeah, and the duels, I mean, back in the day, it's fun to like duel people, but if that's all your game is built around, why even have a fucking story? Just make it so you duel people and you can pick who you duel.
Well, and I'd be okay with the dueling being part of the story as long as it was like not as much. And like the thing is like there's not even there a lot of times there's a ton of time between events that happen in the game. And it doesn't tell you where to go next in the game, and there's 2 different cities. So sometimes you're in the wrong city for 3 days, and then you're like, oh, I should have been in City 1 to find this character.
Yeah, one thing that I would recommend with this game, guys, is doing a guide, because the guide really does help a lot if you want to actually just get through the story and then do the post-game, because the post-game is probably fun. You have to collect cards, you do that whole grind thing. That's another thing about this game. The grind is really bad.
It's super bad.
You start out, like, people start out with decks that are, I don't know, intermediate decks. They're not amazing, but at the time they probably could have won you a round in a tournament. And then you start out with decks that have like monsters with 500 attack in them.
Yeah, it's just absolute garbage.
And they give you guys clarification if you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Like a good attack monster is 1700 and above.
Yeah.
A good monster has a 1700 attack and a special effect that lets it do extra things.
Yeah.
Like Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Did you ever use him?
I don't think so.
He starts out with 1600 attack. He gets 1 counter when you summon him.
Okay.
That counter brings his attack up by 300, so he's at 1900.
Okay.
You can remove that counter to destroy any magic or trap card on the field.
Oh, that's a fucking good card.
Yeah, that's a good card, right?
All right.
That's the kind of card you want in your deck.
Yeah.
And then you have a card that has 500 attack and no effect on it. Really super useful, right?
Yeah, totally.
But and then some of those cards can be good if they're associated with like magic and trap cards, or like part of like a deck thing where certain cards bring out those cards so you can sacrifice them to get better cards and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But they don't do that. They just gave you fucking shit monsters and said, okay, now win.
Yeah.
Go on.
I will
Get out
say
there.
I do like the actual like buying packs in this game.
Yeah, that was actually kind of fun.
Opening pack animation was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like that's probably one of the best.
God, I
things
can't
have for
imagine
that.
trying to get one card though that you really want
I know.
really bad, and then just sitting there opening 40 fucking packs.
Well, and I kind of wish they were actual like traditional packs, because like 5 cards in a pack is so small.
Yeah. No, it wasn't 5, was it?
Yeah, it was 5.
Oh, I'm thinking the way they lined up the packs.
There was 10 packs that you could buy,
The
which
way they
I do like
line
that
them up
you
looks
could
like the
actually
way you line up cards.
You could sell out the store, because they only had
every
10 of
day.
each time, and then you had to wait till the next day to buy more.
And you're like, you're really not doing well business-wise.
Yeah,
You only have 10 packs to sell
seriously.
in a city that just wants to buy cards.
Especially when a box comes with 36 packs.
Right? No, it comes with 24.
Or 24.
Yeah. 24 packs, but also
I was
like
thinking Magic.
you think like think of like the entire city of Greeley playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you only have 10 packs in your store a day.
Yeah, that would be
Like either you're selling those packs for like $35 a piece, or you're not making any money because you're selling out
If
within
you're
the
selling
first
them for $35
hour.
a piece, you're not making money.
I know, you're not making much, but you're making more than $4 a pack.
I mean, fair.
I mean, why the fuck would you only carry 10 packs, you dumb bitch? God damn, it's so stupid. And then it's dumb because they do this extra thing in there where they have Solomon Moto. That's Yugi's grandpa.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't own this store, but he's watching it for a friend. But he
Yeah.
owns his own store.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, so I don't understand why the fuck they decided to do that.
I don't know.
I was like, what? And he's like, I want to be part of the tournament, but I can't because I'm working like an adult. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm a child, but thanks for letting me know. I'm a child who lives by himself in a single room little apartment. Like a studio apartment thing, but thank you.
Yeah. The duels for this take fucking forever.
They do. They needed a speed up option.
Or like need a speed up option.
So other games would have like, let's cut the animations kind of thing. Like in Pokemon, you can cut out the move animations so your battles go faster. But adding like a 2 or 3 times speed would have been smart for this game, I think.
Like, it doesn't let you surrender until after 10 turns.
So if you know you're going to lose on the
forever.
first turn because you drew like shit fucking cards, which sometimes you do. You draw 5 magic cards and you're like, I can't use any of these to do anything right now.
Yeah, and they already have 2 fucking 2,400 attack people out by turn 3, so you've already lost over half your health. You're like, I've lost already, so you just have to like kind of let yourself lose.
Yeah, which is kind of heartbreaking, but also it just takes a while. Like, it adds to the amount of time you have to spend on this. And even though the rules in the game is round 10 for surrender, like I don't know why that would fucking matter in general.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's
who gives
stupid.
a shit?
Like, why force me to play longer if I don't want to?
Yeah,
I've never seen any other card game do that, and it just frustrated the hell out of me.
This game takes pretty much exact as the rules go, which is cool. So you get to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's no like stipulation. There's no weird things. There's a couple weird duels you have to do. We have to defeat opponents in special ways, but some of those are cool. Some of them not so much.
Yeah.
One of them was really cool. One of them was really challenging.
Yeah.
They've got the whole the stupid learn to duel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got like challenges you can do, I think, in there.
Yeah, they have like the puzzle challenges that most card games have. Like all the Magic games have. Like
win this turn.
Win this
X amount of turns.
Yeah, the next 3 turns to win this challenge, and they give you a certain deck.
There's only
certain
one way to win it, and you have to figure out that one way. Like it's interesting, it's fun.
Which that kind of stuff is enjoyable.
And you don't have to do that, which is cool.
Yeah,
you get some money, I think, for winning them.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't get much. I don't think you get any special cards or anything like that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, one of the stupid things about this game is you have to collect milestone cards.
Yeah.
So you have to collect a certain amount of cards, and then Solomon Moto will give you cards that might be good for later. And you're like, why wouldn't you just put those in the fucking packs?
I do like that the packs are like labeled out with exactly like what kind of style you might want to play.
For sure.
Like there's always a pack that says like this pack will do good with the style that your deck is currently.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed that. Like the deck building process of this game was pretty decent.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But when you roll in 16 duels a day, and then, I mean, what do you say? Like 40 days have to go by in this entire fucking 40, 50 days?
Yeah, like this
You're
game,
talking hundreds of fucking duels.
Even the fastest speed run with any % completion of this game is 14 hours and 57 minutes.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous for a speed run. That's huge.
So ridiculous. I've never seen a speed run
now, if you're smart like me, you speed the game up by going into an emulator and skipping the frame rate.
See, I was playing with an emulator, but I didn't know how to speed it up, and I suffered for it.
Yeah, that's the way to play this game, I think. It was so much more enjoyable once I sped it up.
And honestly, playing with an emulator, because like we've talked about with emulators and stuff like that, save states in these style of games is the best way to play it.
Yeah.
Because the amount of shadow games you have to do in this is ridiculous, and it's instant game over if you lose.
So there's 2 types of duels you do, shadow game and regular game. Shadow games are like, this is your chance to either win or die. To consider it like that. If you lose, you go back to your previous save.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking annoying. Like, that's so stupid. There's no auto-save feature in this game, so you have to continuously save.
Yep.
And you might only save once a day, and a day could take like 30 minutes to go by.
Well, and you have to go to your bedroom to save.
Yeah.
In the traditional game. You can't just save anywhere.
Yeah.
So you actually have to go back to a certain location, which I'm like, that's so dumb.
And it takes up time in a day to go back to your bedroom.
Yep.
So if you're trying to do certain things in a day, you really don't have time to do that.
Yeah, and if you don't complete what you wanted to get done by the end of that day, you just have to start another day over again.
And keep trying, yeah.
Yeah.
The finding duel people are really stupid. They do particular ways to find people. So like some days you have to find Yugi and you have no idea which one Yugi is unless you dueled a bunch and registered him. And that's annoying too, because like that adds another like 10 to 15 duels a day.
Yeah.
Just to register him. Like it's so stupid. I know that's not the actual number, but it adds a bunch of extra duels or a bunch of extra days to register duelists just so you can see who they are, so you know who you're looking for.
Well, and then like once you get to the end of the game, most all the events are at night, and there's like sometimes a couple days in between each event. So you'll just have to do like 32 to 48 duels.
Yeah.
And then wait till you can get to the next event. And it's just, with how long the duels take, that's where it gets ridiculous. From the point of the Expert Cup to the end, I think because I was kind of seeing if the rock, paper, scissors thing was actually like random, or if there was a certain thing.
I think it is.
It is completely random. I tallied over 175 matches.
Damn.
just from Expert Cup, and I didn't. That's not even all the matches I did. That was just from like Expert Cup to like close to the end.
Yeah.
So I probably had another like 50 more matches.
50,
so
60, probably
just from
more.
the Expert Cup, which is like the last 20% of the game.
Yeah.
There was another 200 fucking duels that I did. That's so many duels for a story.
But I mean, and that makes sense because this game is all about dueling. Like, I get what they were doing there, but then they need to make the story more interesting, I think.
Very much so.
Yeah, or they need, like, one thing that was cool with the app they made a little while ago, a lot of years ago, maybe 10 years ago now, they made it so the duels were half. So you only had 4,000 life points, decks were only 20 cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it just made it so much quicker. It's like you do duels in like 2 to 5 minutes or something. And that's just so much better when you're playing a game versus when you're doing it live. Because when you're doing it live, you want a full experience. But when you're playing a fucking game, do it that fucking halfway.
And I want the full duel experience, but I want the full duel experience in like smaller sections.
Yeah.
Like if you had to do like 5 duels a day and then talk to certain characters and stuff like that, that's fine.
I think if they would have done an overlaid map, that would have been the way.
Yeah.
But instead, they did this whole fucking radar gun thing.
Yeah.
That was like the worst part of the game to me.
Yeah.
Having a radar gun to find duelists and then ranking them on stars, which rankings weren't always like super.
Well, and they didn't have like I didn't ever see that what they were talking about. They're like, this person you're gonna have to find is a 5-star duelist, and then I was like, okay, but what does that look like? Like, I don't see the 5 anywhere. I don't see 5 stars. I see a star, but I don't see a 5-star somewhere. Like, what is there like a different of the like different?
Yeah,
ways?
the number of stars that were above their head.
I never saw that though. Like, I don't know.
understand how you didn't see that.
Maybe I'm just an idiot.
Maybe, but like if above the character's little icon thing, there were stars.
Like when you like found them on the map.
Yeah, so it didn't happen in the first part because you don't get that ranking system until after the beginner cup.
Yeah.
But after
I saw markers with nothing, and then I saw a marker with a star, but I never saw
A-star
markers
is
with
1
anything
star
more than 1
duelist,
star.
And then Yugi Seto are 5-star duelist. Rebecca is a 4-star. Mako and them are like 2-star, 3 stars to start out, and then 2 stars after a little while. So you saw the number of stars on top of them. They didn't like have the number 5. It was they literally have 5 stars on top.
I guess I just didn't see that.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing you didn't pay attention to that. But
Maybe.
yeah,
I was also just in a fucking trance playing this game because of how boring it was.
It is very boring, guys. Like you have to do so much and so little. Like it's like playing. Like, think of playing Legend of Zelda, but take out all of the side quests and then add 40 hours to the fucking story instead.
At it where they make you go to every single room and destroy every single pot.
Yeah. But that's not only that, it's also part of the fucking story, so you have to do that. There's no real side quest. You have to do this thing that's really fucking annoying.
Just the most tedious and just crazy amount of shit you had to do on a daily basis that just was so time-consumingly frustrating. Yeah,
and the grind was just too much. I think like getting the cards was cool, but you did it at such a slow pace and you got so little money. By the end of the game, so I cheated. I ended up getting all the cards because that should be what you just fucking do. In the beginning, so you have the deck you want rather than having.
I can't imagine not playing this game without you.
Yeah, it would be rough. Like after I made my deck, I was like, "This is going to be so much better," and it was. It was so much more fun for me to get through that game when I picked the deck that I wanted.
Oh yeah.
But the grind is so much that by the end of the game, I only had I think 60,000 points, and that sounds like a lot, but really that's only like you could buy out each pack in the card shop every day for maybe 10 days. Yeah. I think that would be the equivalent. And that's, you spend like 40, 50 days in this.
Yeah.
So I didn't even make enough to cover each day of buying out the fucking store. True. Like it's not fucking worth it to do that whole grind thing.
It really isn't. And it's just so frustrating. And like, we're talking about like cheats. At one point, I put on instant win just to get through a bunch of like the days that had nothing.
Yeah, because like why wouldn't you when you have to duel Mako Tsunami 4 fucking times and you're like, okay, I'm tired of dueling the same guy. He has the same deck. He doesn't do anything fucking different.
Just to tell you how long it is, with instant win on, it took me 15 hours to get through 150 battles.
Damn.
That's so ridiculously long amount of time.
You know what's weird?
So dumb.
I think it's just because you didn't know what to do. I had a better idea of what to do. I didn't have
Maybe.
instant went on. I think I spent about that much time, 15, 20.
I honestly, I think I spent 30 to 40 hours on this game.
But I knew who to skip. Like, I kept skipping duels if I didn't want to do them. At one point, you get to say no to duels. They should have done that with every fucking person rather than making you duel them.
It was weird because, like, the guide said, like, you get that option the first time you meet a duelist. But then it became a thing towards the end where it just every time you dueled someone, it gave you the option
to duel. Yeah. So you have to register them, I think.
Yeah, once they're registered, you can always say
no. And you don't even have to just register them. I think you have to duel them 10 times or 5 times to have the option to say yes or no. Yeah. And then 10 times to register.
Yeah,
but some characters were different. The guide I looked at was kind of dumb. It said that you can't register Yami Yugi, and then like 2 duels after that, I registered Yami Yugi, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess you can register Yami Yugi. So I'm guessing you can register every duelist and that they were full of shit.
Well, and even that stuff was confusing to me. I was like, what are these Yami versions of these characters?
So, Yami in Japanese is dark.
Oh, okay. So that was Merrick possessing of them?
Yeah, kind of. So no, Yami Yugi is dark Yugi. It doesn't... Dark is a weird translation for them. Dark's not necessarily evil.
Oh, okay.
It's just a different version of their original version.
Well, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Moon Knight, right?
Yeah, no, not at all, actually.
Well, same story from what I've heard.
Not even close, because in his puzzle is a completely different person. It's an Egyptian pharaoh that lived thousands of years before Yugi did, who just somehow looked like a Japanese boy. I don't know how that happens. But, but point being that it's like, almost think of it as a past life.
Okay.
And he can access the soul and give that soul his body for a short time. Same with Yami Bakura. His is more like a dark spirit that lives in him. There's no it's not a person that used to be alive or anything.
Okay.
It just is, it's someone who got taken over by darkness. And then Yami Merrick, that is more like Moon Knight. That's where it's a different personality built upon his hatred of his father.
Yeah.
Which, all that's cool. If they would have added that to the story, maybe you would have gotten a little bit more sense of it.
Probably.
They didn't fucking do that.
Speaking of story, I guess let's go into that.
Let's jump in.
It's story time. Let's get started.
There's literally nothing exciting about the story.
No.
It's a retelling of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime in a different sense. But the one thing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Games do wrong, and they do this a lot, is they retell the same story.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many games have retold the Battle City story. It is like every fucking game. In this game, it even references the Pegasus Island story.
Yeah.
And if you're a first-time Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, you have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
No, seriously. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is all this shit?
It's so stupid to sit there and retell the story. Like, at this point, why don't you just make a new story with new characters that aren't involved in Yugi and Joey and Kaiba and them? Like, I don't understand why even do that. Why remake the same fucking story over and over? Who wants to do that?
Seriously. Oh, and one of the other things we didn't bring up is you also, at different times during the tournaments, have to watch other duels.
Yeah, only once. And that's a really obnoxious part. It's for like 10 minutes of your time for each duel.
Yeah.
And it's like 3 duels.
Yeah.
So, and it's only one of the tournaments, only the Expert Cup. But so it was so much. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? Just say they lost.
Yeah.
Just fucking say they lost. Show like some weird animation of them bashing against each other.
We already know Joey's going to lose. Joey always loses.
Yeah, he should have won. He's a hero.
He always loses.
But yeah, they do that stupid thing. But story in this game is weird. It's retelling, but not exactly the same way. It kind of is all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, it's not very linear at all. You start out as a novice duelist in the beginner cup. You're retelling the story of Yugi from your perspective while Yugi's your friend.
Yeah.
Which is really strange.
It's so dumb.
But it's like not involving Yugi, you're the main character instead of Yugi.
Yeah.
It's really fucking
Which
weird.
I'm like, why don't you just make Yugi the main character?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand why they didn't do that, but whatever.
Like
I guess.
every other game that I play that has anime, like if you play
You
Sword Art
take
Online,
on-
you play Kirito.
Yeah,
if
you
you
take on
play
the main character.
DBZ, you play Kakarot. Yeah.
Well, unless you're playing the
Well,
weird
I mean-
DBZs, which then give you your own original story.
Yeah.
Which is so much better.
Yeah.
But in this one, you're think of yourself as like adjacent to the main story, and somehow you're the main character.
Yep.
But the start of this is you're in the beginner cup. You have to win the beginner cup to get to the next thing.
Uh-huh.
I don't think nothing really happens during the beginner cup, right?
No.
Do the rare duelists come out?
No,
I don't think that
you
happens.
You have some of the nighttime stuff, and I think Serenity was taken at one point.
Was that before the beginner cup or after?
Or it might have been after.
I don't remember now. I think it was after.
I think it was after.
Yeah, so I don't think you do any dark duels, any like shadow games
Yeah.
until after the beginner cup's over. And you have to get to level 8, by the way. There's a level system in here from 1 to 99. And there's no point. By the end of the game, I think I was level 18, 19. I wasn't very high.
I used to cheat to just be level 99 because I was just.
But
like,
I mean, it
this
still
is
takes
so
you a while,
dumb.
right?
Yeah.
You still have to do a certain amount of shit.
And even if you're level 99, everything in the game is still coded to say things like, "Oh, well, to access beginner cup, you need to be level 8. Looks like you barely made the cut."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh,
I'm level 99, bitch.
I'm like, yeah.
I got 5 Egyptian gagas in my deck. Go fuck yourself.
If you cheated all the way to this, and but that's the other thing. Even cheating, this game took me 30 hours.
Yeah. It's too much.
But yeah,
After the beginner cup, so you win the beginner cup. Your final opponent is like regular Yugi. Joey makes it. Some of the more annoying duelists in here are Joey, Rebecca. Just duelists with those like fucking decks that were meant to be fucking annoying. They're not meant to win. They're just meant to be like dick decks that make the duels last forever. But they're really annoying to duel in the cups. But I think you face off against Yugi at the end.
You do.
Yeah, I think you face off against Joey. Oh, and you face off against Solomon Moto.
yeah.
And I'm like, you said you couldn't participate in the tournament, you fucking liar.
liar.
You fucking asshole liar. And he's always at night just participating. He's like, I'm going around as a creepy old man looking at women's skirts.
Sounds like a creepy old man.
Yeah. But you win the tournament, and then immediately after that, you get a little bit more story. Bandit Keith, who, if you've watched the show or anything, you know he's kind of like a pseudo bad guy who doesn't really matter.
America.
Yep, he's like an American.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's basically like, if you've ever watched Team America, he is Team America in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Seriously, I saw him. That's exactly what came to my
Yeah,
mind.
literally, that's all that can come to your mind. He just goes up to people and says,
America, fuck yeah.
and he rides like a fucking Harley Davidson out, and he's like,
He's just got flags everywhere.
He's got a
Everything's
flag
red, white,
fucking-
and blue. I'm like,
he's like,
God,
I'm
what the fuck?
Canadian.
Blah blah blah.
And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, he ends up being Canadian.
That's
He's
That's
like, I
awesome,
did
actually.
a DNA test on you, Bandit Keith, and it turns out you're Canadian.
It's kinda like-
no, it can't be, no.
it's kind of like in How I Met Your Mother when they find out that
Barney
Barney
is
is
Canadian.
1/4 Canadian.
You get to meet Bandit Keith. He kidnaps Joey's sister Serenity. You have to defeat him. This
He
is
also
all stuff,
stole the prize for the beginners cup.
which is nothing. It's like 100. It's like
Yeah.
1,000 points, which gets you basically nothing.
Mhm.
And then not even was there a card? Yeah, Silent Magician. You get Silent Magician.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of worthless. Doesn't make any sense why he stole Serenity to do any of this. After that, you are entered into the Expert Cup. Because
Yes.
now you're an expert, and for some reason you need 2 tournaments to weed out the good and the bad people.
Even though you've
And
already
everyone-
faced everybody pretty
Yep.
much.
And everyone who lost in the Beginner Cup somehow made it to the Expert Cup, which again,
Which, yeah, Joy wasn't even invited to, but he still competes in.
yeah.
You have to go to another city at this
So
point.
in the manga, he has a really rare card, Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is not rare or good.
yeah.
But he has that card. So this guy's like, oh, you've got a really good card. I'm going to tell the rare hunters about this. Oh, I've made a mistake. You're in the system. That's how he gets his duel list,
Oh,
which makes
okay.
way more fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was all bullshit to get him in just to steal his card.
Yeah. That's good story.
Yeah, that is actually a cool story part. But in this, he kind of just had the fucking duel disc.
Yeah.
But you're entered in the Expert Cup, and now you have to get to level 12, I think, to get on to the next part. And then you get to fight more dark people. Pegasus now shows up as like a dark person whose mind is under control of someone somehow.
Yeah.
Same with Bandit Keith. His mind's under control somehow. You have no idea how.
All these people are going under weird control,
Yeah,
and
it-
everyone's becoming weird versions of themselves. Yugi's not himself. Bakura is not himself.
Yeah, so if you've never watched the anime, you don't know that Bakura turns into Bakura, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Bakura turns into a darker version of himself, which, again, there's no point in having him in the story. Just take him out. Like, his whole entire storyline comes post Battle City.
Well, and all of his things is just like, I'd rather be playing board games.
Then stop playing. Well, it's really cool in the anime, or not the anime, the manga, because this was never shown for some reason in the anime.
Yeah.
He's a big Dungeons and Dragons player.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it actually is. And he forces Yugi and his friends to play Dungeons and Dragons, but like a shadow game version of it.
Oh.
Where their souls are interconnected in the game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
so fucking cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and again, then you have him in here. It's just like kind of looking droopy all the time. Just fucking like, I don't like fucking card games. You want to duel? You want to duel? I can't. I hate this, but you want to duel? I'm just trying to be cool, guys. And so one thing, guys, I should mention is they took several characters out completely, and I don't quite understand why they took them out. They're really main characters in the manga and the show.
Oh,
they took Joey out. Joey is wait, am I thinking of the right person? No, sorry, they took Tristan. Tristan out. Joey and Tristan are best friends.
Oh, okay.
And Tristan's like in love with his sister Serenity, and then they just took him out of the game.
Interesting.
They're like, you know what? Tristan sucks. Let's get rid of that guy. We'll tell the story without Tristan. Well, I got it. You're Tristan. Okay. You're in love with Serenity. Sound good?
Sure.
I'm like, okay, she's cute. Sure. She's probably 10. She's cute, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. The Expert Cup's kind of lame. It's just boring. You have to get to level 12, so you have to just duel a fucking shit ton. There's no real story in there, is there? Like, there's nothing that...
Well, you get invited to the cup, but then you have to do all this stupid military base stuff.
Yeah, but
first,
that's during like the roundup to get to there. I don't think there's any story. It's just like get to level 12.
Yeah.
I no, wait, there's one thing, isn't there? There's like a Pegasus thing, I think.
I don't remember.
There's either a Pegasus thing or there's not, but you have to basically get to this point where you're in the Expert Cup. And the night before the Expert Cup, you're at a mansion having a celebratory dinner with Kaiba, Yugi. But those are the only two you see, but Rebecca should be there too, right? And Bakura?
I think so.
But for some reason, they're not there.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand why. But you're invited there, and then it turns out you're in a simulation.
Yes.
I wonder how long have you been in the simulation?
Well, and it makes it seem like the entire first half of or first 60% of the game
you're in a simulation, right? But you're not. You're only in for that night.
It's so weird because everyone's also in the simulation. Yeah. Even these rare hunters and
they
stuff.
They roofied
your
drinks.
What the hell?
And this we should write a review to Konami being like, I don't like how you wrote a game where you had them get roofied to get inside a simulation, guys.
Seriously though.
Yeah, you're in a simulation somehow in the mansion, and then you don't realize this until after you've done all this bullshit. No, it's like a side thing.
Yeah.
From the anime, it's not even in the manga. It's like they did this as a side thing where Noah is Kaiba's dad's real son because Kaiba's adopted.
Yeah.
But he died in a tragic accident or of an illness or something, so he uploaded his mind and consciousness to a computer.
Yeah.
And then in that computer, he built a world.
Yeah,
and then Gozaburo uploaded himself to the computer.
Yeah, and then everybody else got uploaded to the computer.
And this is some serious technology, dude. This is the number one technology in the world, or it should be.
Noah was going after everybody, but then wasn't, and then wanted to get revenge on his dad, but then his dad showed up, and his memories were there too, and then he's like, I'll hold my dad back while you guys blow up the military base.
But then you still have to...
What is happening right now?
And he says that after you've already defeated his dad. It's like, if you win a duel, the other person's exhausted somehow after you win.
Yeah, I never understood that too.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It seems like some people after a duel are perfectly fine. Other people after a duel, they're like, oh, he was in the hospital for 3 days after that duel.
In Shadow games, it makes sense because you lose your soul.
Well, yeah.
Well, and so in the original manga, you just die. Yeah. But in the anime, they're like, you can't have people die from card games. It's they lose their souls. So they'll get them back. How about that? But yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of dumb. It's a really dumb part of the game. They could have taken this entire section out, saved us 2 hours, and done everyone a favor. It was just unnecessary and stupid.
Very much so.
Noah's kind of lame as a character anyway.
Very much.
I don't know. Anyway, you get past this whole part. You have to face 5 people who aren't that good. Yeah. Or the big 5 who are all 5-star, 4-star duelists or something.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Yeah. And then you face Noah, you beat him, he realizes his mistake. You face Gozaburo, beat him, he doesn't realize his mistake, and then you blow up the island for some reason.
Yep.
You don't quite understand.
And then everyone's released from their mind control and wakes up in the house.
So did you blow up the island?
I think so.
No, you didn't.
Or you blew up Or I guess the military base in the
simulation.
In the simulation,
they didn't
got
do
destroyed.
shit. Is what you're doing.
And that
So what
somehow
was the point?
I see. This is the confusing thing.
I don't understand the point of blowing up the base. Then.
I don't either.
Maybe you blew it up in the real world too.
It doesn't say what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And so it's so confusing.
So you assume that you're only in the simulation for one night because you're in the mansion again.
Yeah, I guess.
But somehow you're in the pods, and my first question was, who put us in the pods? Who knocked us out? Where are all these people?
I
Like, there's no
don't even
dead
know.
bodies around of like bad guys. Like, I don't understand what happened, but whatever. So you get into the Expert Cup, you fight everyone. Your final duel, I think, is against Yugi.
Yes.
Your second to final duel is Bakura, Yami Bakura, and the final duel is Yami Yugi, not regular Yugi. But you fight Rebecca, Bakura, and Yami Yugi. I want to say. I think that was the order.
I think so.
Because Rebecca was an annoying one as always, but also that's 2 out of 3, and that was fucking stupid. And I'm like, just make it 1. Just make it fucking 1. You can say it before. Just make it 1.
Seriously.
My God, go fuck yourselves with your 2 out of 3 bullshit.
I hate that shit so much.
That was the first time I lost, though. The second duel, I lost to Yugi, and I was like, man, if this was 1, I would have won and not have to do a third duel.
Fair.
But after that, I lost a few times. Once to Seto, I had to get the Egyptian God card. And I was fucked because I lost. And I was like, what? You can lose this? Well, how do you get the card? And then I looked it up in the guide and it's like, don't worry. If you lose, you just fight him again and beat him and he'll give you the card. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had to go and find him, which takes forever.
Yeah.
And then you get the
another
card
full
from
day.
him. So now you have to face the rare hunters and they're just kind of going around fucking shit up. You have to face Paradox. Oh, the Paradox brothers were the other people at night.
Yes.
You find out, by the way, that Noah was controlling Pegasus, the Paradox brothers, and Bandit Keith.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. No mention of how, but
Yeah.
whatever. Now you face Merrick and his rare hunters, and it's these 2 guys who are normally dueling together, but you duel them separately instead.
Yeah.
It's only 2 guys, really. That's all you duel.
Yeah.
And then you eventually go up against Merrick, who's now Yami Merrick, because you defeat him in normal form.
Mm-hmm.
He kidnaps Joey. You defeat him, and this is the cool one. You have to tie Joey to defeat him.
Yes.
You have to tie him.
Which I did like that. And you talk to Yugi after that. Because at first you meet Joey and you're like, hey, Merrick's like, if you duel me right now and if you beat me, then you'll harm Joey's real
But I don't
body.
understand. Why did he give you the warning? Why does he care about Joey? He's trying to kill everyone, and he's like, but if you defeat him, what will your mind do?
So then you go walk around and find Yugi, and then
Yugi's like, I've been sniffing flowers. What have you been doing?
Here's some cards that will help you.
I don't want to
tie
fight
the battle.
I'll try to fight him too, but I won't look too hard. I'll be too busy counting my cards. So you go find him too. You'll probably find him because I'm not looking really.
And then you have to, after all that stuff, you have to fight Odeon.
Yeah, Odeon, and then you had to, I think Taya gets possessed at one point. You have to fight Taya, but she's not as bad.
Yeah.
But you tie Joey. That was actually the most interesting part of this game. It's kind of added a different dynamic to the game that was not too hard.
I really enjoyed that, honestly.
Yeah, because it made you
really
pay
easy.
attention a little bit
Yeah.
more. You're not on autopilot.
Well, and it was more of an actual challenge to actually have to think about how to specifically get to this certain situation.
Yeah.
And I liked that. It was more of an actual thought process other than, oh, okay, I'm going to do the same thing I do every single duel because I already have a perfect deck.
Yeah. And one thing I'll note in the Shadow games, if you lose, we already said you die basically, but if you defeat them, they don't die.
Yeah,
which is
so
really
weird.
fucking stupid. I just thought that was a really dumb part of it.
Odeon was one I struggled with a little bit. The time I beat him, it took me 48 turns.
Damn. Yeah, I did it in 4, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
I mean, my deck was the meta deck of the time.
Yeah, and I built a deck kind of off of somebody, but it's just the style that I like to do that I felt worked really well for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I honestly hate Yu-Gi-Oh's rules. I like Magic way better than Yu-Gi-Oh!
You liked what I did, I think. That's more
Probably.
of a beat-down deck with effect cards.
I just... Monsters.
Less about throwing
jam it down
monsters.
their throat.
I know, but that's that's a stupid way to do it when you can
It's so easy, though.
But there's certain cards that if you attack a monster, you can attack again.
Yeah.
If you destroy a monster, you can destroy a card from their hand.
Well, and that's fine.
You can really beat them down and make it so they can't resist.
A lot of times I won, by turn 5. It wasn't the deck was bad necessarily. It's just certain enemies, really just screwed my deck.
Oh, Odeon wasn't too bad, but he wasn't too easy. He says he's Merrick and he's not.
Yeah.
And then you find out after you defeat him that you unlocked Evil Merrick.
Yeah.
And then Evil Merrick is stupid because you have to duel him. You have to beat him. You have to beat regular Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to beat evil Merrick. And if you beat evil Merrick, it's going to stop you and say, "Ah, but you can't defeat me normally. You got to beat me with an Egyptian god card, stupid."
And the Egyptian god card has to get the final blow. And you only get one of them in the game.
Yep.
And you can only have one of them in your deck.
Yeah, you can only have one in your deck. Well, you could have taken off the limited cards. You could put in all limited card, which would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious.
I should have done that cheat. Just put in all fucking forbidden cards.
I actually still haven't even technically finished the game because of that, because it's the stupidest thing ever. It's so hard.
Some of us aren't a little bitch and we finished the game, so don't you worry about it, guys.
Sorry.
I told you I'd send you the deck so you could do it.
And you never did.
You said, "Don't do it. I'm not going to do it." And
I said,
like,
yeah,
okay,
it's not worth it at this point. It's one battle. At the end of the battle, what do you get? Knowledge that you won?
Yeah, you get the credits. You didn't get to see the credits.
No.
After the credits, everyone's nude. And
I don't care.
You missed Yugi's tiny dick.
Sure,
I hope you're happy with yourself.
I am very happy with
Guys,
myself.
after the credits, everyone's nude, and you kind of get to see how their penises are drawn, but only the penises. It's the only... Sorry, I should say all the males are nude. And I was very curious, so I went through. Joyce hung like a fucking horse, and Kai was like tiny, tiny, tiny. But...
He was staring at little Japanese boys' penises. Arrest him.
Excuse you, they're all over 18. Excuse you.
Really? Mokubo is over 18?
Mokubo wasn't included in that. Only over 18 people.
Oh, you said all of them.
Well, then I changed it to all the males, and now I'm changing it again. But yeah, I think they're all 16, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't think they were older.
I don't know how Kai was 16. It looks like he's 25.
I don't know.
But yeah, you have to defeat him with an Egyptian god card, which are annoying because they require 3 sacrifices. And Merrick has a deck that works on destroying your monsters with effects.
Well, and he has a ton of things that just destroy cards.
Yeah.
And every fucking time you would destroy my god card.
You know what that is?
Bullshit.
No, that's a true beatdown deck right there.
I don't care. I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh rules. Yu-Gi-Oh rules. When I grew up playing, I didn't even grow up playing any of these games.
When I grew up, I never grew up. What am I talking about?
I didn't start playing Magic until I was like 19. But I grew. That's the game I'm most familiar with, and I played a bunch of Hearthstone and stuff too, and a little bit of the fucking World of Warcraft trading card game and the Lord of the Rings trading card game.
You're giving us too much context. You're only going to talk about Magic now, so.
Yeah, I just love those rules so much better on all of those games. I do not like
Everyone likes
Yu-Gi-Oh's
different
rules.
things. Again, if you just play by the effects instead of trying to do a beatdown, that's just the difference, right?
Probably.
But yeah, at the end of the game, really nothing. You defeat them and like everything's better.
Yep.
You don't. In the end, you don't kill anyone, but everyone can kill you. So that's cool. Yeah. But whatever. Yeah, really boring story. So let's move on.
Worth, or not.
So guys, we should preface with this game's one of the highest rated Yu-Gi-Oh games there are.
Yes.
That is because it is built at a time when Yu-Gi-Oh was at its best with the cards that were released.
Yeah.
And I also think that has to do with the link play.
Yes.
So because of the link play and the cards, you can go with like a Worf on this. But if you want gameplay or if you want story, this is just a huge nod. If you're just interested in dueling, fucking play
if you're dueling other people,
Just
honestly,
go for it,
this
man.
is the game to play for that.
I wonder if you can, with the link duel, if you get like a set amount of cards or you get to use what you made in the game.
Maybe because
I'm
if you both
curious.
turn on all the cheats and all the everything, you can make the
No, you can't.
duels.
Well, you could probably do it on the emulator, but you couldn't do it.
yeah.
They can tell when you used codes.
True.
They would have banned you.
But
Yeah, I mean, just play the game if you just want to fucking duel. But otherwise, I would say this is a nah game for sure.
Physical copies of this game are pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
If you do find them, you're gonna spend $40 to $60 on it.
Yeah, which
it's
is, I mean, that was the price of it when it came out at $35.
I found one copy of it for $11 online somewhere, but the guy never sent it to me, so I got refunded. And then I kept on messaging him; he never responded at all.
He's like, I
And
just
was
needed
like-
$11 to pay.
But then
my
I
bills.
was so glad that I didn't actually get a physical copy of the game, because playing the emulator version was so much better
Yeah.
than playing the physical copy. I would have not finished this if I played the actual version of this
for
game.
sure. And I mean, like I said, the game is fun if you like to duel, but that's pretty much all the game is. So
Yeah.
There's no story really. There's no cool. You don't get to move around a city and see a bunch of cool shit and see how Domino City looks. All you do is just fucking exist on a grid.
And you even make up the name for the city.
Oh yeah, I called my city Bitch Boy City.
I didn't know why I was naming it the city, and I was like, "What city do you live in?" I was like, "Narnia." I don't know.
What a bitch name. Bitch Boy City would have been. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, it was Bitch Boy City. Because I put Bitch Boy City, and then they had the
The city on the end of it,
at the
yep.
end. So I was like, Bitch Boy City. So
Fair
welcome to Bitch Boy City.
Yeah, this game is not worth it at all. It's a nah for sure.
Sorry, one more thing. Bitch Boy, it's spelled with an I and a Y.
Well, that's the way you have to spell
Yeah,
boy.
that was the very important information that I needed you guys to know. But yeah, I would say nah on this game for sure. If you want any kind of like semblance of a real fun, story based or mechanic based game, you're not going to get it with this.
Fair.
Oh, all right. Well, that's it.
All right, next week we have
Prototype.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Love you.
No.